Hey everybody, it's Justin Stubleski from the Camera Shop of Muskegon, and I've got a really full room, as you guys can see. Normally we don't have this many faces inside the screen, but I've got three other ones outside of my own, and I'm very excited to bring back Mark Farb, Brian Matsumoto, and a new face for all of you out there who are tuning in and will be joining us this Friday and Saturday. I have Megan Loeks. Meg, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, I have to ask, because Brian and I will get to kind of talking about some things here that are happening with Sigma and more stuff about the event. But you're one of our premier speakers this weekend, and I have to ask you, and it's what I do with all pressing matters with photographers, is number one, where are you from? Can you give us a little bit of background, and how did you get into photography?
So I live in the Upper Peninsula near Marquette. I'm originally from downstate near Grand Rapids area. And I live here with my husband and 4 little children. And I am primarily a children's portrait photographer. And I make a living teaching photography online. I have a couple of online workshops. I also do in-person workshops, obviously not right now. But I do travel and speak at conferences and have private workshops as well with photographers.
That's excellent. How did you? I got to ask this because
I've been to UP. Okay there? I thought I lost you for a minute.
Oh, it's okay. It's probably, if you're on a Wi-Fi connection, it might kind of blip in and out for you. But just hang tight. We've got you.
Okay, good.
We've already got Tiffany saying, Meg Loeks, love your work. So thank you, Tiffany. I know Tiffany was a good customer of ours who was moved out of state. I think she's still out of state, maybe on the East Coast somewhere, the Southeast Coast. So thanks for tuning in with us, Tiffany. Appreciate you. So, Meg, we've got this weekend's workshops coming up. You love to shoot kids. How does someone, because I'm a loper, or a troll, as you guys like to favorably call us up there in the north, and disdainingly so, I can't stand it. But how did you get from Grand Rapids to the UP? And, did you start shooting kids when you were down here and then migrate up there? And how did you even begin to start shooting your kids or get into photography as a shooter?
So I originally started with photography when I was really young, and I started with film and developing my own prints. And I kind of put the camera away a little bit when I went to college. I picked it back up again when I started having a family and having children because I wanted to photograph them. And at that time, I kind of switched to digital and started taking classes, all of that online to just understand photography better and understand my camera better. And so I started photographing my children and really getting into photography when my first-born son, who's now almost 9, when he was about 2 years old. And so we lived downstate at that time, and I was photographing them. I was also taking on clients as well, and started a business in photography, primarily focusing on newborn, family, children. And then we moved up here about a few years ago, and my husband is actually from the UP, he's from the Upper Peninsula. So that's kind of what brought us up here. And I continue to photograph my family. I don't really take on clients at this time because teaching is a full-time job for me. But I do enjoy what I'm doing. I love to teach.
Well, and it's great because we, in this day and age, in COVID 2020 age, I mean, it's a prime thing. We need a lot of teaching, and there's always a lot of people who are looking for good content. And I know that children photography, I mean, it seems, from my standpoint, little old West Michigan, that it seems like that's a growing genre of photography, that's really kind of starting to not burst at the seams, so to speak, but it is really kind of escalating.
Yeah, because children are just so unpredictable, and you have to just be really flexible and kind of go with the flow with them. And I think that's one of the really exciting things about it is, especially when you're working with little ones, the younger they are, especially like toddler age, the more they kind of just want to do their own thing. You can't really pose them. And I kind of gravitate towards that, and also trying to figure out ways, if I do want to pose them, how I can get around that, tricks I can do in order to keep them in good light and keep them engaged in good lighting and with me.
That being said, you know, we've got your workshop coming up this weekend. I think we have you for 2 sessions. Is that right?
There's 4 altogether. There's one that focuses on timeless photography. So timeless children's photography. There's another that is going to focus on storytelling by lens, which is one of my favorite topics. I shoot with all prime lenses, and I'm going to kind of deep dive into, you know, being purposeful with lens and settings. There's also a session on low light. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about all light, really, and created light too as well, but it's going to really focus on low light. And then there's another one that is on creative compositions.
Okay. Wow. And there was supposed to be 4. I mean, it sounded like there was 5 almost right there. But you know, I mean, I know it's really broad, and again, we have you for a short amount of time because we want to let you get back to what you were working on. Because this was kind of an impromptu thing that, like, hey, can we get Meg real quick to kind of introduce herself? What can people anticipate who will be joining our classes? What can they look forward to in game, you know, in the classroom, and then, you know, where is it going to take them as far as photography is concerned?
I'm going to be covering a lot of different things, but some of the things I really discuss quite a bit are going to be, as I mentioned, like lens choice and being purposeful with lens choice and the reasoning behind why I choose certain lenses, you know, for environmental portraiture or more for like a fine art portrait, things like that. I also am going to be deep diving into color theory and color placement, being purposeful with color. That's another favorite topic of mine as well, because color is really important in my work. I'm going to be talking about light, and I talk about all forms of light, but specifically low light because it is my favorite type of lighting. I shoot in that the most. Within my house, I don't have huge windows. I don't have a ton of light, so I'm often working in that type of setting. And I'll talk about, like I said, created light too. I have pro photo lighting that I use, and I talk about kind of how I use that gear in a lifestyle setting, and photographing my children in everyday moments with my pro photo gear. And like I said, I'll also be talking a little bit about timeless children's photography. So what that means, clothing, colors, and even I have like a shot list to kind of go through some of that shot list for ideas and inspiration and things of that nature.
So it sounds like we're in for a good treat as far as like there's going to be a boatload of information. It kind of, you know, from, you know, going back to my education, you know, we're talking about color theory, lens choice, being purposeful. I mean, these are all things that I think about on a regular basis. So it sounds like we're trying to help encourage people to construct a strong and positive workflow so that they can create better imagery as an end result.
Yeah, we're really going to be focusing on creating a strong storytelling frame. So we're going to be looking at like all the elements from lighting to composition to, you know, the meaning behind your image and the story that you're trying to convey or that you're trying to convey about your subject. So we'll be talking about all that stuff.
Great. You know, because hey, a picture says 1,000 words, right?
Yes.
Well, in closing, Meg, before I let you go, because we're working with Olympus and Tracy McGlosky, and I had asked her, because this is celebrating women in photography. I wanted to ask her, I want to ask you, as far as what is kind of one morsel before the classes and the workshops, because we're going to get some great stuff from that. But what's one positive thing you can leave our viewers with tonight that can just kind of fuel them up, get them excited, and that, you know, they can kind of take with them if for some reason they couldn't attend?
I would say that for me, like one positive thing that I always strive to do is to constantly keep learning, whether that's taking online workshops or, getting involved in classes and signing up for conferences. But it's continual learning. It just never ends. And so I know one thing that's sometimes people struggle with is finding their voice, finding their style. And it is something that's ever evolving. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. And I do think it's extremely important to keep learning, to continue to learn, to meet other photographers and get yourself involved in things like this.
And I can't that's a really resonating message, and I hope that for all you guys who are tuning in, we're going to have 4 sessions, it sounds like, Meg, this Friday and Saturday. And we're going to be able to kind of build and compound into using the, harnessing lights, harnessing your lenses that capture the light, and turning it into better storytelling for your imagery.
Yes. Yeah. Perfect.
Great. Well, I appreciate you joining us this evening here. We'll let you get back to what you do best, and we look forward to seeing you this Friday and Saturday.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Meg.
Thanks, Meg.
Bye.
Thanks, Meg.
Okay, well, gentlemen.
So, Justin, I have a quick question for you. Where
Sure.
can people sign up for Meg's sessions? The 3 on Friday and the 1 on Saturday.
The 3 on Friday and 1 on Saturday. The easiest way to sign up is, for those of you who are tuning in, is to go to our Facebook page, which is Camera Shop Muskegon on Facebook. And we have some links there within the corresponding events that you can click on and sign up. And you can join Meg on her 3 events on Saturday, and you said the 1 on Friday, correct?
3 on Friday.
Yep, and I will actually, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add that link into the comments so that people can sign up and register right here with the link that is in the feed right now for everyone. So if you can't find your way to camerashopmuskegon.com, I have put the link right into the feed as a comment so that you guys can copy that and sign up for Meg's classes here this Saturday. Friday and Saturday, my bad. 3 on Friday, 1 on Saturday. So where does that take us, Brian? We've got...
So, all right. Well, let's back up. So the other issue is the Camera Shop Muskegon is putting on this event that really starts tomorrow, right?
Yeah. We're starting on Thursday.
Okay. And it runs
Thursday,
through
Friday,
Saturday.
Through Saturday. Yep, that's right.
And it's called Photographer 2020, but the HER at the end of photographer is capitalized. So this is, again, a celebration of women in photography.
Yep.
And they have a really nice schedule of events that you can attend. That I'm assuming now, I don't know. Is there a charge for the Olympus for the events tomorrow?
Yeah, these are all. Yep, they're all free. Which not concierge. What do you call that? With like the fancy word for free. Free. Mark free. Well, it's just.
Complimentary
is yes. That's
complimentary. There we go.
Yes,
right.
Yes, these are all complimentary because we have great support from vendors like you guys. I can't thank you guys enough for supporting us. And Meg, I wish I had thanked her when she was on screen here. But it's just really nice that you guys are able to bring powerhouse photographers into the mix and allow our customer base. And your customer base, for that matter, because we're inviting people from all over the country. It's not just West Michigan. I think we're casting a pretty wide net, and we just want everyone to come into the fold and be able to glean and get some good information to help them improve our mutual passion, which is photography.
Terrific. Just as a quick introduction, I am the tech rep for the camera shop in Muskegon. And and I live in the Chicago area. Mark lives on Long Island in New York, and he's here because he's going to be the tech person supporting Meg during her presentations for 3 on Friday and the 1 on Saturday. So that's why Mark's here. Of course, he has a much nicer background than I do.
Yeah, he's Mark, you were working on that last time we had you on, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it turned out really nice. You got everything well displayed back there and on the shelf.
I have a clean wall to work with. Yes.
Yeah, I wish I looks like I need to do something back here myself.
Actually, it looks like you have some classic cameras on the wall behind you.
Yeah, there's some good ones there. That one on the top shelf is a 1.2 50 millimeter lens. So, yeah, pretty fancy on a Konica FT1. So,
it's even better on a Konica. I love that. That's excellent. Outstanding.
So I know that we've got the events coming up. Is there anything else that you can tell us, Brian? I mean, we're celebrating women's in photography. You're our tech rep. Do we have anything special that we can announce for our customers because of the coinciding with the event?
Yes, absolutely. There is a special pricing starting tomorrow through Saturday at the camera shop for all Sigma products. So you can find out more online at the camera shop Muskegon.
Yep, we'll have that posted.
Right, and again, it starts tomorrow. But just in a quick tip, if you're looking for a macro lens, we have special pricing on both of the 70 millimeter f2.8 macro and the 105 f2.8 macro. Again, it's a special that goes through Saturday. The other part of that is that at the end of September, the 70 millimeter macro comes off we run a monthly list of instant rebates, and that lens is coming off the instant rebate list. So now's a good time to save some money.
So how much would we be saving overall? Is that something we can say, or is that something that they'll have to wait until tomorrow to kind of find out?
Actually, I guess we should wait. That way they come back. Is kind of my thought. But the tip that I can throw out there is that so starting tomorrow, any lens $400 and up on most lenses. It's not all lenses. Will be $50, an additional $50 off, and all lenses $399 and under will be an additional $25 off. And that also includes whatever is listed on the instant rebate list. The September, so for 30 days, we're running an instant rebate list. You can double dip. So you can add that $50 or the $25 off to the already discounted price, which truly makes our lenses more affordable.
Yes, and so we're talking like we can stack them like a stack of pancakes or waffles, right?
There we go. Absolutely. Yes. Well, it's just not often that you can double dip with rebates. So this is one of the rare times that happens.
Well, so and it's kind of like a camera shop exclusive as well, right?
Yes, it's only happening at the camera shop. That is correct.
We're excited about that, and I can't thank you guys enough again for that support. That really does help us out, and really helps all of our customers out because hey, we can get them. I mean, I'm a big fan of Sigma lenses. I know that a lot of my kit is I've got the 50 prime. I mean, Meg was talking about primes. I've got the 50 prime, the 35, the 24, the 20. I'm just missing out on the 85, but you guys got that new 85 that is just, I think that's something new compared to what we talked about last time when you talked about the 100 to 400.
Correct. This is the new 85 DGDN lens, Art f1.4. That's for the Sony or the Leica L mount. So that you can notice there's a major size difference. This is the 85 f1.4 Art lens for SLRs. So yes, because of the fact that it's mirrorless, has allowed us to make the lens significantly smaller and lighter. And it's, amazingly enough, this lens is incredibly sharp.
Mm-hmm.
This lens is even sharper than this lens. That's the absolutely frightening part. So,
Well, and that's kind of the great thing about it is that DxO mark is kind of the industry standard for being able to rate lenses and kind of I mean, not industry standard, but they're pretty popular as far as what a lot of people use as a resource.
yes.
And they ranked the 85. It's the first lens to get a perfect 50 out of 50 score.
Right.
And now you're telling me that we've got a lens designed for full frame for the Sony FE and the Panasonic mount, right? The L mount.
Yes, Panasonic L. Yes,
Yeah, and that's even sharper than the current 85 as it stands.
that is correct.
So
Even though the original 85 is ungodly sharp, and a lot of people kind of use that as a benchmark for sharpness.
So the question is how are they going to rate that on their system? How do you say like, yep, we give it another 50 out of 50? Shouldn't it be like 51 out of 50, 52 out of 50? Where do we take it from here?
That's a good question. Well, we're lucky because we can say yes. We have an 11 on our volume control.
Yeah. It's like it's to the max.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
So have you guys so outside of the 85? I mean, have you guys seen a lot of traction on that? Has there are a lot of kind of good people, a lot of good reviews or feedback coming in from that?
Excellent. We've gotten a lot of great reviews. We've got a lot of people are blogging about it, about how good it is. So it's one of those that you can go online and check it out for yourself. The lenses is a little hard to get at the moment, just because it's very popular. And the other nice thing is it's at a much better price point compared to like the Sony G Master.
Mm-hmm.
What's
the comparison there in the price point?
It's Mark, can you help me out here?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's a sizable difference.
Isn't it $11.99 for ours?
Yes.
And I think the Sony G Master is $21.
$21.99 is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So there's a significant difference in price. So yes, it's pretty amazing, all in all. So,
like right now, I'm seeing $17.98. That could be a sale promo, but let's just double check here.
Got it.
$17.99. Yep. So it's $17.99 for the G Master.
Okay.
But that's $600.
Right. I was going to say, right. That's
it's a sizable chunk of change.
Right.
Yeah. And that's now, is that 105? Is that kind of priced at a price point where that would be like another $600? Like, can I get the 105 for $600? I mean, I'm just saying, because if you save $600, you can move $600 elsewhere, right? So
that is correct. Yes.
If I get the 85, I can go ahead and I could get the 35 FE. Is what I could do.
Or the 105 macro.
Yeah.
105 macro.
Yeah, or the 105. Yeah, I just have to have an adapter, but I could do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, you could get the 70 macro within the $600.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the price would be what, $519?
Something thereabout.
Yeah.
So,
oh, cool.
Be, it's not often you can buy two really great lenses
for under $1,200,
right at $1,000.
Yeah. So the other question I got to ask is, okay, we're going to have this special 3-day purchase power opportunity for our constituents.
Yes.
That's something that could I save $50 on that $11.99 85 FE?
I am glad you asked that question. So the issue is all of the new DGDN lenses. So the 14 to 24, the 24 to 70, the 35 f1.2, and the new 85, and the 100 to 400. DGDN, do not count. The event rebate does not apply.
Oh, so currently exempt is what those are. Those
Currently
are
exempt. That is correct.
those are off the list. So we're talking about the conventional kind of lens system going to mostly the Canon and Nikon lineup, and
Yes.
the older. What about the older E-mount lenses?
Actually, it applies to all DGDN lenses. So that would be all the primes.
Okay, so the
All
20.
older primes.
Okay,
Right.
so those are
That
all
does
off the
not
list.
apply to- Now, the other advantage, though, is that the DC lenses for crop sensor. So
Yes.
if you have a Sony A6600, we have the 16 to 30 and the 56 f1.4,
Mhm.
all at $50 off.
So the lenses that are already like under $400, they have
Right. If
another-
they're under $400, then
Yes.
it's $25 off.
yes.
But
So-
the I think it's the 56 and the 14.
Mm.
I'm sorry, 16
Yep,
are above the 400 threshold, so they're $50 off.
Okay. Even after the sale, is it before the sale or after the sale price? Because that's the other thing. Because I know the 30 is 289. Is typically
Take the 50 off the sale price because
Yep.
they're on the instant rebate list,
Yep.
and because it's a DC lens, DCDN,
Yes.
you can apply the event rebate.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So for anyone who's tuning in, what that means, if you have an Olympus and if you have a Sony crop sensor mount, an APS-C mount sensor, you'll be able to get a nice portrait lens, whether it's a 56-1.4, the 30-1.4, or the 16-1.4, and you've got solid prime lenses for creating some great portraits, which is a lot of what we're going to be focusing on with this weekend's upcoming events. So to be able to score those lenses around under $400 is pretty nice. And you guys, there's nothing to shy away from with that glass.
Correct. They're unbelievably sharp. The other great advantage of the trio of lenses is that they allow you to do much more lower light photography because of the speed, because you have f1.4, which is a really nice.
And that's the nice thing is that, I think with the Olympus, you get the 25 1.8s, and that's $299 right now. You spend $10 less, even though the lens is like an inch or two bigger in height. You can get 1.4 aperture for $10 less.
Yes.
So that's
right.
I just think that's great. And then the 16 is weather sealed and the 56 is weather sealed, right? To some extent.
Yes. It's not 100% weather sealed, but they do have weather seals.
Yes, good. And that's going to help if you've got a weather sealed Olympus camera.
Yes.
But the big thing is kind of nice is that with the $50 extra savings, with Meg Loeks class, and again, the emphasis on the prime lenses,
yes.
We'll have, you can get the 50 millimeter, the 85, the 135, the 105 Bokeh Master, the 85, the 50, the 35, 24, and 20, and the 14 will all have that $50 savings, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's great. And are any of those on rebate right now, or are those just kind of all?
The 35 and the 85 are on instant rebate.
The 1424 is on rebate.
Okay.
Oh, right. Yeah, 1424.
And it looks like Linda is already saying that she will be shopping tomorrow. Linda Blackwell says that she will be shopping. So we look forward to seeing you, Linda. We'll have a lens for you. And if we don't have one, we can special order it for you and make sure that we can get it in your hands.
Got it. Thank you, Linda.
So what else is new? I mean, with these events, Brian, and or Mark, what can you tell us about those? Sigma really going out to bat for us, really kind of helping out our customers during COVID-19, celebrating women's in photography. You guys can expand on that a little bit or expound on that?
Mark, you want this one?
Well, it's important for us to work with our partners out there and stay in front of people and also keep people engaged. There's it's a way of actually getting their mind off of the craziness that's out there, helping people kind of wind down a little bit and relax and get back to brass tacks and think about things that you enjoy doing and prepare for going back out and, doing the things that you want to do. And even while you're doing your social distancing and stuff like that, as things open up, it gives you a different perspective. It's kind of like the difference between working with a prime lens and a zoom. So it makes you think about life and photography and light and everything else a little differently. So it challenges you to think differently. So it gives you the opportunity to add some new tools to the toolbox. And we're here to help explain that, show that, and just keep people engaged.
Yeah, and that's great. It's really important right now because some people can't even leave their home. So if you guys aren't tuning in from Michigan or you're tuning in from somewhere else, that'll give someone the opportunity who might be truly homebound at this point to really get something worthwhile. And since a lot of football is not happening in the Midwest, the Big Ten, I mean, it's not going to start this weekend. There's no excuse not to participate in these classes.
Well, it gives people time to learn and do some different things, focus your energies to a more positive thing. And also, like I say, even around the house, it gives you an opportunity to think differently and stop and look at things that you pass by every day and take for granted. Just even if you're sitting out on the back deck or in the front yard, watching how the light falls differently on the subjects around you, or just doing interesting things that as they pass by the house, or what's out your window. We've actually done a bunch of different classes over the last few months about shooting at home. So there's lots of topics. There are a lot of different things. It allows people to challenge themselves, learn a new skill, and think differently, think outside the box, so to speak. Yeah,
and I know you did one of those earlier, Mark, when we interviewed you. I think what was it? Was it back in May, or something? You were doing a lot of macro. You were doing a macro workshop. Of course, you've done more than just one. You were kind of working from home, and this is what got you started with your project that's behind you, is because you were doing a lot of that. Now you've got this little production studio that you can work out of.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's while it's not the same to teach virtually, it's interesting because you're reaching a broader audience and you get to meet and talk to a lot of people. I've had experience of chatting with people from halfway around the world that have tuned in because they've caught the announcement one way or the other. So it's kind of neat. And then, of course, introducing new customers to, customers like yourself. So you meet new friends, make your photo family even that much larger. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, is just building out and reaching people. Again, because we're not creating those connections that we would normally be creating. This gives everyone the opportunity to kind of do so otherwise.
Right, and the other neat thing too is that for people like Brian and myself, we're tech guys, so a lot of times people go to a show or when they call on the phone or whatever, they don't really think about us as photographers, but we're the guys who actually make a lot of those pro people look really good because we've got a lot of experience and we've made the mistakes, so we have a lot of knowledge to impart on people and help them actually figure out, well, what do I need? What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? So we love what we do, and we get to help impart all of those years of knowledge on people. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then that's the biggest thing, is just being able to have fun while during all this. That's the biggest thing, is trying to maintain positivity, right?
It is. So I mean, again, as a tech team, there are 6 of us currently, and we work diligently every day to just reach out and stay in front of people one way or the other. And these are great opportunities, and also to show off the stable of professional photographers that we work with and show their talents and showcase the products that help them get there.
Yeah, and I should have asked Meg, how do you guys end up choosing your ambassadors? Is it kind of like they seek you out? Do you seek them out? I mean, is it top secret? Can you tell us this? just kind of curious, how you find somebody. Like, typically when I think of photography, you think of the big, East Coast, West Coast. Well, we've got someone from our very own backyard here in Michigan, and I think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Brian would echo the sentiment here is, our marketing team does carefully select the people that we work with. We constantly try to mix things up and add in some new talent and different subject matters. People contact Sigma all the time through all different channels, whether it's through the tech reps, which we all make suggestions or recommendations of people that we met along the way or people that we know in the industry. But people send in portfolios all the time, and they try to talk to the marketing team, which is basically the people that make the choices.
So from there, you kind of look, and like you would anyone else, you kind of vet them and kind of look and see like, hey, this is what they have to offer, and then how can they build and expand on the brand of Sigma.
Well, they do that, and it also helps if they're already shooting Sigma product, because a lot of times people will come to us and they are already hardcore Sigma shooters, and it's like, here, look at the body of work that I've produced, and look at the stuff that I've created with your glass, past, present, and hopefully future. So there's that. There are people who've switched systems, and they
looks like we have a slight technical glitch.
Yeah, we lost you there for a second, Brian, but you're back.
You're back.
Good.
Okay.
Yep.
There we go.
We got you.
And we had a nature photographer in the past who, believe it or not, actually someone from another manufacturer pointed out to one of our departed employees, dear old Dave Metz, you need to go shake this guy's hand and go take a look at his work. He purchased out of his own pocket a $9,000 lens.
Ooh.
And was shooting some of the most amazing bird photography out there.
So while we're waiting, there he is.
And, it was one of those where they sat down, had a real interesting conversation. He's like, all right, I'll give it a spin. And he was with us for a long time. And then he chose to concentrate more on his business a little differently. And then, he went another direction. But it's all of the pros that we work with currently. They're all phenomenal individuals. They're all from interesting walks of life. We've got, again, we're talking about the lady photographers right now. So Meg has got some really amazing stuff, and her story is really interesting. So she produces fantastic images, and she keeps it simple, which is kind of the name of the game. You don't need to overcomplicate things. So right. We've got a very eclectic stable of photographers, and it continues to grow all the time. And it's always an interesting thing to meet some of these new people and see their work. So, I mean, Brian and I have been doing this a really, really long time. We've shaken a lot of hands, and we've looked at a lot of images from a lot of different people. And I have to tell you, these photographers are very impressive.
Yeah, well, everyone that I've had the opportunity to work with over the years has been phenomenal, and it's just great to be able to meet yet another photographer, because you guys have been able to grace us with their presence and the opportunity to learn from some of the industry's best. So yeah. I can't thank you guys enough for being able to do that for us.
The other challenge we run into is that we are always looking for people who are not only great photographers and are very passionate about their work, but we're also looking for people who can teach. Mm-hmm. There are some photographers out there that are really terrific, but they're not very good at explaining what they do or how they do it. And on top of that, we're also looking for people. We're looking at people on what their social media presence is. That also helps us going forward. Although I'm sure every manufacturer out there does that. So, right, going forward. So that's become more important. And one other quick aside, changing the subject just a little bit, but speaking about the whole COVID thing, we were very, very fortunate that our president at Sigma USA got us the great idea of donating and working in conjunction with the local camera dealer to donate a percentage of their sales to a local charity, which, of course, this ran from April 1 until the end of August.
Mm-hmm.
To us, hopefully, it was the absolute worst part of COVID when everybody was stuck at home. And obviously, a lot of folks were out of a job. So I think it was, we're very, very fortunate that we got to participate along with the camera shop. It was a really great thing. And we do have on our website a page with the local charity and how much we donated through the percentage of your sales of Sigma lenses. So
Nice.
It was a really great program.
Yeah, it was really good that you guys did that you guys are participating. And I still, even today, I think I logged on to your website or saw I think it was on Instagram, the positive messaging that's being sent out through your guys' social media
Right.
is really resounding. There's this big emphasis and focus on, making sure everyone's safe and, either while they're creating or not creating, they're just kind of on this holding pattern that you guys are really making this effort, not just, via social media and kind of, mincing good words, but you're actually taking action and putting your money where your mouth is and actually having purchased the portions of the purchases contributing to, good causes. Yeah.
Well, we're very lucky. Well, we appreciate great partners like you guys.
Well, and we appreciate great partners like you. So I guess I can just volley that one right back over.
Right. Outstanding.
So
we're excited about this coming weekend.
Yep. And while we were talking, I was actually taking the time to kind of post individual, and I don't know if people will be able to click on these links actively on the Facebook comment section, but I did kind of throw the times that Meg will be doing her workshops, and just kind of want to reiterate it here towards the end of the Facebook Live that we've got Timeless Children's Photography on Friday, September 18th at 10:30 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time, and I've got the link right below there, followed by let's see, I got to scroll down past this one, followed by Storytelling by Lens, which is on that same Friday, September 18th at 12 p.m., so at noon Standard Eastern Time. And the following one, the last one on Friday, is Working with Low Light on September 18th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the link is posted there. And the final one is going to be Saturday, September 19th at 11:30. That's going to be Creative Composition at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. So really excited for those events. So if you guys need more information on that, you can go to the Camera Shop Muskegon Facebook page, and if you click on our events, just scroll down to let's see what it says. It's photographer with Sigma, Ambassador Meg Loeks. If you click on that, you click on the link on the page, or just copy and paste it into your web browser, and it'll take you to a main landing page that Sigma has for us that allows you to register for all 4 meetings in one place. So you guys can sign up for free, courtesy of our friends at Sigma.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Also, I don't think you really have to sign up. I don't think. There is let me double check, the second Storytelling by Lens on Fridays at noon. That goes for an hour, and so at 1 o'clock, from 1 to 1:30, there'll be Tech Talk with Mark Farr. So the guy that we've got on the top right will be our Tech Talk. Yes, that is correct.
So instead of a TED Talk, it's going to be a Tech Talk.
It's
correct. Stump the tech rep.
Right.
So Stump the Tech Rep. So what kind of questions, Mark, are should we anticipate people asking, or what kind of things could you encourage people to ask, during that half hour of time?
Any question that they want to ask whatsoever. I mean, it's obviously, if there's something specific that Meg talks about that kind of flies over somebody's head and they want a little bit of a breakdown on it, I'm more than happy to help with that. if they need a lens suggestion for a type of photography that they want to attempt to get into, or they're doing something and they're not happy with what they're working with. If we need to make a suggestion, give them some guidance. It's all good. I mean, anything photography related. I mean, explaining compression possibly, because sometimes people don't understand that you can use a variable aperture lens and create bokeh, or the out of focus area in an image, just the same way as if you shoot wide open at 1.4 or 1.8 with a lens. So there's a combination of different things that go on there. Helping people get to the end result of what they want to do with their imagery.
Very nice. And you could get double your money if you use the 70 to 200 2.8 and go out to 200 and open up at 2.8, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Actually, the amazing thing, you could use the 100 to 400, which is an f5 to 6.3.
Mm-hmm.
And even at 6.3, you get amazing bokeh. One, because it's a longer lens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I've known people to shy away from that because they're thinking, oh, there's going to be too much that's going to be sharp. But the reality of this is that you just need to try it. You'll be shocked at what you get.
Yeah, and the thing that I've always been surprised about, even going back to early reviews on the 18 to 300 contemporary, I'm a big fan of the Photographer and their reviews on gear, and they speak volumes of your bokeh on that 18 to 300, an all-in-one lens. They just say the bokeh is so nice and creamy, and it seems like that's kind of sounding like a common thread with Sigma lenses, is that hey, you don't have to pay as much as the next guy, and you're getting these really nice products that deliver really high quality optics for you.
Correct.
Yes.
And you guys are future proofing them too. That's one thing that we rarely talk about, is the future proofing of Sigma lenses, and allow you guys to expand on this, because you guys are designing things for high resolution sensors beyond kind of that standard 24, 36, 42 megapixel kind of range, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Now, we can't tell you exactly how high the resolution is of the sensor that we test to. We'd have to kill you. So, since we don't want to do that,
yeah,
Greg would be really mad at us.
Yeah, I value my life. So
yeah, they are all designed. One of the reasons why our lenses are so good out of the box is that they're truly designed for sensors above anything that's currently available.
Nice.
That's the huge. Yeah, that's the huge thing. So.
And the biggest out there is like 60 some odd megapixels. So
that is correct. Yes.
Yeah. I wonder what you guys got cooking over in Sigma somewhere. Gonna have to go bust down the door.
Well, they delayed the full frame Foveon sensor camera till next year. I'll be we haven't heard a peep about it, so I'll be very curious to see exactly what this thing does, and what the resolution will be.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, the APS-H Foveon chip was 51 megapixels, so a full frame chip is definitely going to have a lot more punch to it, and it's an interesting architecture.
Yeah, interesting. And that the APS-H, is that like a super, what they call a super crop sensor? What do they call those, super crop or?
No, Super 35.
Super 35.
APS-C in digital cameras or still imagery is the same as Super 35 in cinematography. So that's the sensor size is the same there. APS-H is the sensor that Canon produced in their sport cameras. Yeah,
they're 1D series. So the 1D2, the 1D3, the 1D4, they were all APS-H.
Right.
Okay. Interesting.
Which is a 1.3 multiplier versus the 1.5 or 1.6, depending on whose chip you're using.
Correct.
So just a little bit bigger than the other guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, guys,
cameras were really fast. We're back in the early days of digital. They were 8 frames a second, which was unheard of in 2004. That was just astounding at how fast that was. So
and now we're kicking down the door of 20 frames per second. I mean, some of that's electronic, but physical shutters are getting between 10 and 15. So
right.
Yeah. things are definitely getting interesting in the market. That's for sure.
Oh boy, no kidding.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, boys, we're coming up on kind of that hour of time. Are there any closing thoughts? We're going to have Mark. If I look over to my right here, we've got Mark for the Tech Talk from 1 to 1:30 on Friday. Correct?
That's correct.
That is correct.
Okay,
And
so
he'll be supporting Meg for all of her presentations.
So if you guys have any, so if you have any questions during her lectures, Mark will be on hand to answer your questions as we go and to moderate. I'll also be present. I just hope I can get my sound apparatus to work. It's working now, but with the thing that we were using, I was having some trouble. So hopefully I can get that ironed out and be part of the game for sure. And Brian, will we be seeing you at all during all this? Or are you kind of working behind?
I have another event to attend, so which is why Mark was kind enough to fill in for me.
So we got the cleaner is what we got.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
Actually, as bad as this is going to sound, and again, no offense, Mark, but he's our senior tech rep. He's been around, I believe, the longest.
The longest.
So,
well, it's good that we've got.
Well, he's got a very lengthy technical career in the photo industry. So
that I do.
He's a great guy. He's really friendly, and he's a great teacher. So,
well, thank you.
So, anything else we can expect, Brian or Mark, before we sign off here tonight?
Lots of fun tomorrow, Friday and Saturday with you guys.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Join us tomorrow. We'll have in-house specials starting, because a lot of this stuff is going to revolve around portraiture. We're going to have specials on flash modifiers. We've got our educational books that we'll have specials on. That's going to be, buy one, get the second half off. So if you guys are looking for a good book, we can lock you in on that. There's going to be some kind of pre-order specials on some of that gear where we're going to do 10% off on, special order on lighting or lighting accessories. And so we want you guys to be able to kind of, we want to support you and your efforts and your growth of photography. And we're just looking forward to having Sigma really kind of take the cake come Friday morning/afternoon, and then Saturday mid-afternoon with these workshops with Meg Loeks.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, one other quick question for you, Justin.
Yes.
Do you sell MagMod?
We do sell MagMod. Yes.
All right. And will that be on sale through Photographer 2020? All right.
Yes.
Perfect. So, Meg, we'll talk about modifiers. There are all kinds of modifiers out there, but I know that MagMod in the last couple of years has really come on strong as a great manufacturer and supplier of impressive and not really expensive modifiers.
Yeah, and they're some of the best for speedlights and for they're kind of working into the studio strobe kind of plethora of things. So really looking forward to that. And those guys we'll be doing a 10% off on that. So cool. For what we don't have in stock, we'll special order it, so you guys will be able to get locked in on these really nice show specials for the photographer event, and be able to special order them. And then when they come in, we're going to call you and have you come pick up your stuff. If you don't want to come pick it up, we can always just ship it to you. That's not a problem. But that's what we'll have for people. It's going to be great.
Okay, terrific. Same thing with any Sigma lens that you don't have in stock.
Yes, same thing. So we're going to get the show special, which is $25 off anything below $399, with some exceptions, and $50 off anything north of $400. With the exception of the DGDN line for the FE Sony mount system.
Correct.
I did it, Brian. I learned.
Yeah.
Now you just have to say it 5 times fast.
Oh, I can't do that. No.
Absolutely. So, well, we really appreciate you letting us hang out with you.
Yeah, and I can't thank you guys. I can't thank you guys enough for the same. It was a pleasure to have you guys join us and have Meg join us, and for you guys to really set this up. So if you guys are tuning in, you're seeing this live or you're seeing this recorded, give a shout out to Sigma, send your thanks, and you can really thank them by supporting them. Come in and get that show special, 25 off anything below $399 with some exceptions, and $50 off anything north of $400 for that show special, with the exception of the DGDN line for the Sony FE mount. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining. If you guys want to check out the events, check us out on Facebook, Camera Shop Muskegon, and click on the events tab, and you will see all of our events for the photographer event 2020, supporting women in photography, and you'll be able to sign up. What was that word again? Complimentary, because of our complimentary of our friends at Sigma and Olympus. So again, guys, thank you so much for your support, and I hope you guys have a great night.
You too. Thanks very much.
Thanks for joining, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.